So presently, I am father of two, Brandon and Allison. Brandon, age 8, Allison, age 13. Aubrey, the wife of 17 years. So I just try to, you know, keep them happy, and they keep me happy most of the time when Brandon's not playing Fortnite. But so what do I do? That's the professional me, which is where I spend 8 hours a day or so. Is I am in technology consulting for a company, Eide Bailey. We're the 15th, I think, largest public accounting firm in the country, over 500 million in annual revenue.
Wow.
My responsibility is to help the technology consulting practice by providing service to organizations that need help with their accounting systems or their manufacturing systems or data reporting systems, data analytics. Um, and really, why do they need those tools? They need those tools because they are inefficient. They do not have the manpower. They're doing a lot of things manually because as companies grow and become more complex, they need more tools to help manage their business, so they can continue to scale and keep the employees happy and their morale high, and obviously have a handle on how the business is running, and then ultimately provide to their customers and serve customers. Uh, so so that's what I do, and I've been doing that now for close to 18 years. And how I got into it, as I was telling Kathy, this on our Fika chat today, is it was completely accidental. If you would have said to me, if you would have said to the 18-year-old self, you're going to have a career in sales, I would have said you're crazy. And but I, uh, went to Michigan State University, go green, and wanted to be in broadcast management and work in television and more on the business side of it. And I started my professional journey the semester after 9/11 happened, and that directly impacted television, radio, broadcast, film, because of there was about 2 months where there was no ad support on television, and the stations were really struggling. That's how they make their money. Um, so I saw people who had been at the station for a long period of time, who had been great, you know, uh, employees, having to be let go because they couldn't afford them anymore, or they needed to cut costs. And I thought at that point, boy, it's better to bring in revenue than to be an expense.
Hmm.
And coincidentally, around the same time, I was doing an internship with the sale, or my internship was kind of rolling, and I got experience with the sales department. And my the kind of liaison there said, you should just get experience, get take a first job you get hired. And it was in technology, which I've kind of always liked technology. Now, this was in staffing, and I absolutely hated it because, unlike where we spent Monday and Tuesday, there was no go giving. It was all taking. It was we had no value offering. It was just, we got great people. Oh, how great are our people? Well, man, we don't really. I mean, it's all just nonsense. So I hated it, and I stayed there for about 6 months before we decided to separate. I mean, get fired. That's the only job I've ever been fired from, which was a good experience because I hated it and he hated me, and it wasn't a right fit. Well, my wife and I had purchased a house, and my next door neighbor, one door over, was um, owned a technology consulting company that helped small mid-market companies with doing stuff I talked about, ERP systems and managed services, or now what we call cloud. And I got to know him, and I thought, this is a successful guy in my neighborhood and young guy. I should get to know, how do I do what he does? So
Hmm.
we just started to have, some introduced myself just as a neighbor. And then I found the company I was with at the time had an opportunity that we couldn't help with, and I referred it to him. And about a week later, we were playing golf. And then a week later, he says, "Hey, it's a crazy idea, but I want you to come work for me." And I thought, okay, this is going to be really awkward. I'm going to live next to, one door over from a guy who could potentially fire me. And my longest track record of working in a business has been 6 months. And then I hated it, and I hated my boss. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. I'm going to sign up for this. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because he saw and invested in me, and he said, "I think you can do this stuff. I think you can help do this technology consulting." And he really invested in making sure I learned how to do things more the right way. I wouldn't say we were always perfect, but we were better off than we were at that staffing company. And I learned how to uh, help really uncover customers' needs and align solutions and negotiations and value propositions. And I really found what I like to do, which is just help companies and really help the Office of Finance. So thankful that door opened. Thankful for the opportunity and the investment. And it's 18 years later. I've traveled down to a couple of different companies since then, but really the 6 years I spent there were the foundation for the rest of my career. Um, so that's what
Yeah,
I do.
that's so cool. That is such an interesting story. Thank you so much for sharing. I like to say that like everything happens for a reason, and some of the best things that have happened to me are completely accidental, and I had no plan. If
Yeah,
you had told me like I was going to be here doing this like 5 years ago, I'd be like, "You're so crazy. I'd never do that." But
right.
then I
Well,
end up loving it. So I think that's so
absolutely. And like
cool.
you asked, you said, I think, I don't know if you used the word regret. Were there any regrets? Not, you can go back and undo them. And for whatever reason, I've never been a regretful person,
Mm-hmm.
because if something didn't go well, it's just going to
Yeah.
prepare me for the next one, or
Yeah.
it was a learning experience. I mean, you may not have won an opportunity. Okay, well, how can I learn from that? I
Mm-hmm.
really didn't like working at that company. Okay, well, how am I going to make sure? And every time I went somewhere or interacted with somebody or what, there's something I'm always, go giving. I'm giving and I'm receiving back, whether that's, at that company, I was only there for this period of time, but I learned this,
Mm-hmm.
or I had that customer and they had that need. So I've always, I've never, ever had, regrets, because
Yeah.
everything has led me to where I am today. And I'm very
Mm-hmm.
happy with where I am today.
Yeah, that's such an awesome mindset. People definitely can get caught up in the smaller things and be like, oh my God, that was so stupid. I can't believe I did that. Or I can't believe this happened. And this was such a waste of time. But I just feel like I kind of trust like the universe that everything happens for a reason. And
Yeah,
even if it sucks right now, I think if I just kind of wait it out, I'll be patient and it'll end up being okay.
I completely agree. So that coincides with what would I tell my 18-year-old self? And
Mm-hmm.
that is, um, worry less and enjoy more.
Mm-hmm.
And two sides of that. I guess you can say fear motivates you and it keeps you honest and it makes you work hard. Um, but I guess there were times in which if there's something called the imposter syndrome, which the imposter syndrome, you tell yourself, I can't do this. Nobody's ever they're going to find out that I'm a big fraud, and and get over that. Trust yourself and enjoy the ride. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I've enjoyed the ride, but you know, I think it's taken up until the last 5 years, 10 years, 8 year, let's say 8 years, to where you say, I am good at what I do. Hopefully I'm great at what I do. And I do provide a great service to my clients. And I know whatever I do, I'll always have a job somewhere. And I used to operate out of a little bit of that imposter, having that imposter syndrome, telling me you're a fake, you're a fraud, you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your car, IRS can, I don't know where that came from,
Yeah.
but it was there. And so that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self is enjoy college more than you did. And I enjoyed college. Um, enjoy the ride, and read the Go-Giver. you know, uh,
Yeah.
read the
Yeah.
Go-Giver earlier in life,
Mhm.
and it will set you up. But I guess to jokingly aside, there is I would also tell the 18-year-old in me, provide more service to more people, and always quit worrying about what's in return for you, and the world
Mhm.
will be your oyster.
Mhm.
And we heard some beautiful stories about that this past week. So I would tell my 18-year-old self, worry less, enjoy more, serve more,
Mhm.
and you do those. I think you're, and have fun
Yeah.
along the process. I think that was uh, I was when we were getting the feedback and somebody said, you just seem like you're always having fun. We're not digging ditches over here, right? So
Yeah.
this is not brain surgery. So we should have fun in the process. So I guess that'll
Definitely.
be my fourth one, and have fun.
Mhm. Those are great, great points. And especially, I think the imposter syndrome really kind of struck with me. Sometimes I definitely, because of my age, I feel like if I'm in like situations with like, excuse me, like older people, I'm like, do I fit in? What do they think of me kind of thing? But I think you're so right. And that's something I feel like I definitely need to hear. So thank you so much for saying that.
Well, I'll give you the real life example of that is when I started selling the services I am selling now, but 18 years ago, that meant I was 26 years of age. No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, yeah, 26. Um, and I was very like, are they going to trust that a 26-year-old knows what he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, are they going to think like because I'm not 30 yet that I don't know and they're going to trust their business to somebody who's not 30? Well, guess what? I'm going to tell them I'm 29, because maybe they'll trust a 29-year-old more than a 30 or 26-year-old or 27-year-old, however old I was. And then when I'm 30, I'll say I'm 31. And then I'm 30, that was a big deal once I was 30, I was like, now I'm really legitimate because I'm 30. I don't think anybody ever said to me along this whole run, well, we really like you. You guys seem like you're a good company and you guys are doing good things, but golly jeepers, Matt was born in 1977, so we're going to have to go somewhere else. Um, and the odd part of this whole deal is now I'm older than a lot of my prospects. And so 18 years ago, I was fibbing about my age so that my customers would think that, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually older and I've got more experience, and because that means more knowledge. And I would say half the time or more, I'm dealing with somebody my age or younger.
Mm-hmm.
So
There you
I don't
go.
know how that happened, but I guess I kept blowing on the birthday cake, and the candles started accumulating.
Yeah, I actually talked to someone and he mentioned that like he was like 19 or something and he was in like the financial industry or something, or he was like on the very young side. I think he lied that he was like 20, like 26 or something
Same deal. Yeah,
for like years. And I was like, wow, how'd you pull that off? That's so cool. I mean, I don't have any plans to lie about my age, but I think that's definitely something, a real fear that I have. Like, oh, do people trust me? Do people want to like interact with me because I'm so young? But yeah, I think it'll be okay. And I think just having that mindset and having that confidence is something that can really make you seem a lot older. And just knowing and trusting that, hey, I'm doing a good thing. I trust the product. I trust myself. I know what I'm selling. I know it's
right.
good. That that tells your age more than a birth certificate does.
Absolutely. And there are people who are my age who age doesn't mean you're good. Age
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just those little lies that we tell ourselves at
Yeah.
times. So
Yeah.
that's what I would tell my 18-year-old is relax,
Yeah.
trust the process, trust yourself, and things will be okay.
Yeah, trusting the process is very scary, especially like I feel like for younger people, they don't really know the process as well. So trusting it seems so much bigger than it is, but having trust in that process is really important.
Yeah, and well, that might be another, that might be 5A is um, be coachable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And um, I was very fortunate. First boss, horrible. Second boss, he invested time and energy. He he I reciprocated by asking questions and wanting to learn and allowed myself to be coachable and and because of that, I think it really helped accelerate my career development.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with me. I learned a lot of great things. Definitely some stuff, as I said, the imposter syndrome. Learning about it and talking a little bit more in depth is something I feel like I really need to hear right now. So thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it.
You bet. All right.
All right, have a great day. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll see you. Bye bye.
Bye.